I present to you my top 10 architectural visualization studios in Germany. Let's jump right in. Number 10. Rendertaxi. Rendertaxi is one of those studios that can genuinely switch gears depending on the client, and their portfolio shows both sides. On the developer side, they deliver big, high-impact marketing imagery, like that Dubai skyline shot, clean hero composition, glossy materials, strong skyline readability, and a polished, premium mood. It's designed to sell a project at a glance, with scale, atmosphere, and a lot of visual confidence. On the architect side, their competition work looks very different, and that's intentional. The German competition images are quieter, brighter, and more design-led, soft daylight, restrained contrast, and a clear focus on spatial logic, material intention, and human-scale life. It reads like architectural communication, not advertising. What ties these modes together is discipline. Their camera work stays controlled, the scenes stay legible, and the environment feels integrated, whether it's an urban skyline or a calm courtyard. They're also strong at populating scenes without turning them into noise. People and vegetation support the story, they don't hijack it. So the key point with Rendertaxi is range with reliability. They can do glossy developer visuals and calm architectural competition imagery, and still keep the same fundamentals: clarity, believable atmosphere, and a strong sense of place. Number 9. Hada Images. Hada Images works with a very architectural, idea-driven visual language. Their images are calm, precise, and highly controlled. There's no visual spectacle for its own sake. Lighting is usually soft and neutral, often daylight-based, which keeps materials honest and the architecture readable. Composition is one of their biggest strengths. Camera positions are chosen to explain structure, rhythm, and proportion. Facades feel ordered, interiors are spacious and legible, and every frame feels intentional. Material work is subtle but confident. Brick, timber, plaster, and concrete are rendered with restraint. Textures never feel overworked, reflections are controlled, and surfaces stay tactile without becoming noisy. People and life are used carefully. Figures are quiet and believable, mainly there to establish scale and use, not to create drama. The quality stays remarkably consistent across very different projects. That's why Hada Images is especially strong in competitions and design-driven projects. Their visual power isn't loud or cinematic, it's precise, architectural, and built on clarity and trust. Number 8. MOKA Studio. MOKA Studio sits right at the intersection of architecture, landscape, and atmosphere. Their work is clearly architecture-led, with a strong focus on livability, urban calm, and spatial storytelling rather than spectacle. You see it immediately in their residential and mixed-use projects. Soft daylight, balanced compositions, and environments that feel designed to be inhabited, not just viewed. Stylistically, MOKA leans into natural light, restrained color palettes, and tactile materials. All the surfaces are treated with equal care. Nothing feels overpolished or artificial. The lighting is often diffuse and realistic, avoiding dramatic sunsets in favor of believable, everyday conditions. A key strength is their integration of landscape and public space. Green courtyards, paths, water edges, and planted zones are not background decoration. They're central to the composition and to the story of the project. People are used thoughtfully, always supporting scale and use without pulling focus away from the architecture. Across different typologies, their visual language stays consistent. Calm camera heights, disciplined perspectives, and a strong sense of spatial depth. Whether it's housing, urban quarters, or waterfront developments, the images feel cohesive and intentional. MOKA primarily works for architects and design-driven developers. especially on projects where atmosphere, context, and human scale really matter. Their visual power isn't loud, it's quiet, confident, and deeply architectural. This is visualization that explains how a place works, how it feels, and how people will actually live in it. Number 7. April Studios. April Studios works at the intersection of architectural clarity and expressive atmosphere. Their images are calm and controlled, with lighting that feels intentional rather than dramatic. You often see soft daylight or subtle warm tones that add depth and warmth without overpowering the architecture. Composition is clean and elegant. The camera framing is chosen to keep the building legible while still grounding it in its context. Lines, planes, and proportions are carefully balanced so the image feels composed, not accidental. Material work is solid and believable. Concrete, timber, metal, and glass behave naturally, with restrained reflections and tactile textures that support the design rather than competing with it. People and context are used with care. Figures help communicate scale and use. Vegetation and surroundings feel integrated, and nothing becomes visual noise. Across different project types, the quality and tone stay consistent. That's what makes April Studios versatile. Their work fits both architectural presentations and developer-focused visuals, balancing clarity with atmosphere and delivering images that feel refined, readable, and confident. Number 6. Eve. Eve's work has this very real-life, believable visual language. It's clean and inviting, but never sterile. A lot of their images live in soft daylight, wide windows, gentle shadows, neutral palettes, and materials that feel practical, not showroom perfect. Interiors are staged like someone actually lives there. Simple furniture, warm wood tones, plants as quiet accents, and just enough messiness to sell the moment. The compositions are calm and readable, usually straight, slightly wide, with clear depth and a strong sense of the layout. On the exterior side, Eve leans into atmosphere without overdrama. You'll see bright, crisp daytime shots with lots of greenery and open sky, and then those cozy dusk scenes where the building lights and street life do the storytelling. Even the more character-driven spaces like attic lofts, with beams or bold corridor murals, still feel grounded and easy to imagine. My take: Eve is great at making architecture feel accessible, warm, human, and market-ready, with a confident, restrained realism. Number 5. Grauwald Studio. Grauwald Studio's visual language is all about control. Their images feel less like marketing renders and more like carefully composed film stills where the architecture is the main character. You'll notice how often they work with restraint. Big, quiet skies, muted palettes, and a lot of breathing room around the building. Atmosphere is used like a design tool, not decoration. Haze, soft shadows, winter light, dusk glow. It's always there to simplify the scene and make the messing read instantly. Composition-wise, they love clean geometry and strong silhouettes, usually from a calm, observational camera height. Details are sharp, but never loud. Materials feel tactile, yet the image stays uncluttered. Less, look at this texture. More, feel the weight and temperature of the place. Even in darker, moodier shots, there's discipline. Light is placed with intention, guiding your eye to one clear focal point, then letting everything else fall into quiet supporting roles. In my opinion, that's what makes Grauwald stand out. Architectural clarity first, atmosphere second, and a portfolio that feels consistently mature, calm, and confident. Number 4. Atelier Tata. Atelier Tata is a studio that feels built for architects first. Their signature is photographic realism with an editorial calm. No forced CG drama, no overcooked sunsets. They lean into soft daylight and believable atmosphere, so the architecture reads as confident, design-led, and real. What stands out immediately is clarity. The camera work is disciplined, verticals stay clean, and the compositions are designed to explain the building, not to sell an effect. You understand the project quickly. Massing, materials, and intent. Material work is another strength. Concrete, wood, metal, glazing, and interior all behave plausibly, with controlled reflections and subtle texture detail that never turns into noise. They're also very precise about life and context. Vegetation and small figures appear as supporting cast, just enough to give scale and mood, never enough to steal the scene, and this matches the kind of clients they attract. Atelier Tata mainly collaborates with architecture practices and design-led teams, with selected references including studios like David Chipperfield Architects, Sauerbruch Hutton, Henning Larsen, Barkov Leibinger, and engineers like Arup. Across the portfolio, the language is consistent. Tonal restraint, soft highlights, readable midtones, and that quiet confidence. Their visual power isn't shock and awe, it's credibility and refinement. Images that feel like perfect architectural photography of something that doesn't exist yet. Number 3. Leonard Mitchell Studio. Leonard Mitchell Studio operates firmly in the world of architecture-first visualization, but their work doesn't avoid mood, it uses it deliberately to explain the idea. The style is calm, tactile, and spatially precise. Lighting is soft and natural, often overcast or gently directional, designed to reveal form, proportion, and material rather than dramatize them. Nothing feels pushed. Nothing feels artificial. Materials are handled with restraint and confidence. Surfaces breathe. You never feel the renderer trying to impress you. Composition is deliberate and architectural. Strong axial views, clear hierarchies, and carefully chosen camera heights guide the eye through space the way an architect would walk it. Interiors and exteriors feel equally considered, always grounded in human scale. Figures and context are used thoughtfully. People are quiet, naturally placed, and never the point of the image. Landscape and surroundings support the architecture instead of competing with it. Across cultural buildings, housing, and competition work, the visual language stays consistent. The images feel like part of a single conversation, not isolated hero shots. Leonard Mitchell Studio excels when clarity, atmosphere, and architectural intent matter most. This is visualization as an extension of the design process, precise, restrained, and deeply architectural. Number 2. Xoio. Xoio's work sits firmly on the high-end, developer-driven side of architectural visualization, built for clarity, polish, and market-ready impact. Their visuals communicate value fast. Clean daylight, neutral skies, controlled contrast, and carefully staged compositions make the architecture feel accessible, premium, and immediately legible. These are images made for real estate developers and marketing agencies. Readable at first glance, refined on closer inspection. Lighting is a core strength. Bright, balanced, with soft shadows and stable exposure that keeps facades, interiors, and materials clear across the entire frame. Nothing over-dramatized. The mood stays calm, optimistic, and commercially confident. Composition is disciplined and modern. Camera work favors strong geometry, clean horizontals and verticals, and perspectives that explain the building rather than stylize it. Urban contexts, street views, and interiors are framed to feel realistic, approachable, and well composed. Material rendering is clean and controlled. Concrete, glass, metal, and finishes behave plausibly. Restrained reflections, textures that support the architecture without exposing the rendering itself. Consistency across projects is high, which matters for large-scale developments and branding campaigns. Figures and context are used strategically, people add life and scale, environments feel integrated, but nothing pulls focus from the real estate message. While their core client base is developers and marketing teams, xoio occasionally works directly with architects when projects demand a more restrained, design-conscious touch. Overall, reliable, high-quality visuals that bridge architecture and marketing with confidence. Number 1. bloomimages. bloomimages represents the absolute top tier of contemporary architectural visualization. This is work designed to convince, to sell, and to feel effortlessly real. Their style is highly photorealistic, clean, and confident. Lighting is precise, often bright and optimistic, but always physically plausible. Materials read instantly, calibrated for credibility at scale. What really sets bloomimages apart is how alive their images feel. People are not an afterthought here. They are fully integrated into the scene, moving naturally, interacting with architecture, light, and each other in a way that feels completely convincing. Figures and context are used thoughtfully. Nothing feels staged, cut out, or pasted in. People belong to the space as much as the buildings do. It's clear that bloomimages has embraced advanced AI workflows and pushed them hard, not to replace artistry, but to remove friction. The result is an exceptional level of realism, density, and natural variation that would be extremely difficult to achieve otherwise. Despite the technical sophistication, the images never feel synthetic. AI disappears into the background, serving a clear goal: images that feel photographic, contemporary, and human. Their primary clients are some of the world's most renowned architects, alongside real estate developers, manufacturers, and leading marketing agencies. And it shows in the clarity, polish, and commercial strength of the work. Every image communicates value, livability, and atmosphere at first glance. Across large scales, master plans, residential developments, and urban environments, the visual language stays consistent. Cohesive lighting, controlled color, believable life, and strong architectural presence. bloomimages excels at one thing in particular: making future architecture feel undeniably real, populated, and ready to be lived in. This is visualization where technology, craft, and storytelling are perfectly aligned. Those were my top 10 ArchViz studios in Germany. If you want to discover more great studios around the world, follow the channel and check out ARCHVIZBASE.com, my curated database of more than 1,000 hand-picked ArchViz studios worldwide.